Okay. So, hello students, good afternoon everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing fantastic. Okay. So friends, in our last class, we have had our discussion on the topic perfect competition, where we studied how in a perfect competition, there are very large number of sellers and buyers selling homogeneous products. Yes or no? Yes, sir. We discussed that in the short run, a firm in a perfectly competitive market could make supernormal profits, could make normal profits, or could even incur losses. But in the long run, they would eventually end up making normal profits only. So this we had discussed along with the graphs, obviously. इसके बाद we had moved on to monopoly market, which we did not complete. But some things that we discussed about monopoly market was that it is a market where there is a single seller with no close substitutes. कोई भी आसपास नहीं है. No close substitutes. Correct. And then we discussed the demand curve that they face, or rather the curve that they face, wherein it was something like this: average revenue, marginal revenue, and the slope of MR was twice the slope of AR, if you all remember. What I have done now is just quickly, very quickly, try to recall with you whatever we discussed in our last class. Do you all remember so far? Yes or no? Okay, very good. Fantastic. Now, friends, we continue our monopoly discussion. Friends, do you know monopolists have a unique power which only monopolists have? Or if you talk about markets, we only talk this in the case of monopoly market. You all know what it is? So please tell us. Monopolists have a unique power. Unique power. This is called price discrimination. This unique power is called price discrimination. This unique power is called what? This unique power is called what? Everybody, this unique power is called price discrimination. Now, friends, what is price discrimination? Let me give you an example. Okay? All of you know that Indian Railways is a monopoly of Government of India. Yes or no? Yes. Now these Indian Railways, suppose a person is, a senior citizen, let's say. Suppose a person is handicapped, suppose. And then suppose a person is a normal young adult. For these two categories, is the railway ticket price same? No, railway fares are different. Different fares. This is called price discrimination. Price discrimination is a practice wherein for the same product, two different people have to pay two different prices. That is wherein a monopolist for the same product charges two different prices for the same product from two different groups of consumers or from two different consumers. This practice of charging different prices from two different consumers is called the practice of price discrimination. Do you get it? Yes or no, everybody? Come on, everyone. Yes, sir. So what is price discrimination? If somebody asks you, and who practices it? First of all, we study price discrimination under monopoly. Under what? Under monopoly. What do we study under price discrimination? It is a practice, It is a practice wherein for same product, two different consumers have to pay two different prices. Two different consumers have to pay different prices. This practice adopted by the monopolist is called the policy of price discrimination. Is called the policy of price discrimination. Do you understand it? Yes or no, everybody? Yes. Very, very good. Very, very good. I just introduced this. Now, sir, for price discrimination, there are some conditions. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर समय price discrimination हो सकता है. There are some conditions for price discrimination. So herein we write conditions for price discrimination. Conditions for price discrimination. कब price discrimination किया जा सकता है? When can price discrimination be done, everybody? Conditions for price discrimination. So number one, obviously for price discrimination to take place, monopoly in some form is necessary. If you are not a monopoly, then chances are that you will not be able to discriminate. Monopoly in some form is necessary. That is absolutely very important. Got it? Next, market should be further subdivided into sub-markets. Sub-market means it could be old people, young people, anything could be. But it should be possible to divide market between two different varieties of people, at least two varieties of people. Next, high price is charged in a market where there is low elasticity. Low elasticity means even if you charge high prices, the demand for your products will not go down. And a monopolist will charge low price in that market which has high elasticity. That is, the demand will drastically go down if you try to increase your prices or change your prices. And number 4, no cross-selling possible. Sir, what is cross-selling? No cross-selling means it is not possible for me, let's say consumer Mr. A, to buy from this market at low price and sell it in this market at a higher price. It should not be possible. No cross-selling should be possible between markets. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप 6 रुपए में यहां से खरीद के 8 रुपए में यहां बेच दो. It should not be possible. Otherwise, the monopolist will be at loss because monopolist will get a lot of competition. So there should be no possibility of such cross-selling between the two different sub-markets. Friends, do you understand this much? Yes or no, everyone? Yes or no, everyone? Come on, everybody. Yes or no, everyone? Conditions for price discrimination. Now, before we move forward, we will talk about effects. Why it is done? Why it is done? Why price discrimination is done? I will explain this to you. But did you understand this much? Yes or no, everyone? First confirm this much. Okay, Vadehi, Om, Swathi, Asha, very good. Very good. People have understood this. So then, since you have already understood this, we can move forward now. Since you have already understood this, we can definitely move forward now. Great. Yes. In one market, monopoly will charge high price. In one market, the monopolist will charge low price. This is the meaning of high price and low price. Got it? Why is it done? A, to earn maximum profit. Now I'll tell you why. To earn maximum profit, I'll tell you why. Suppose you are a chartered accountant in practice, okay? Suppose, just for example, you have two clients. Two people approach you. One of them is willing to pay you fees of rupees 6 lakh per annum per year. The other one is a small business. Okay. So they are ready to pay you for the same work. For the same audit work, they are ready to pay you let's say rupees 1 lakh per year, because they are small firm. Arey Baba, if you want to maximize profits, you will tell yes to both. Why will you say no to this person? You are after all rendering a service. It's not that you have a lot of costs. Yes, you have costs. But if 1 lakh is able to cover your costs and give you some return out of it, why will you say no here? So, price discrimination is done to earn as much as possible. Got it, everybody? Number one. Next, sometimes it is done to dispose of extra stock. I'll give you an example. To dispose extra stock. Suppose Nike, just for example, okay. Suppose Nike has some shoes, new launch. Nike has manufactured 1 lakh shoes. Okay. So it has kept the shoe price at rupees 50,000 per shoe. Per shoe pair. Okay. Now what happens is, suppose 90% of the shoes Nike is able to sell at this price. Now 10% remains. Now what Nike is thinking is, Nike wants to, dispose this off. Nike wants to dispose of this. Okay. So what does it do? It will reduce the price. This is called price discrimination. For the same brand, same shoe, same design, two different prices, just so that Nike could dispose of this extra stock. You see now, if you visit your local malls, local markets, you will see some offers going on. Got it, sir? So price discrimination could be done that way also. Sometimes price discrimination can be done to capture more markets. To capture more markets. Suppose, I'll give you an example. Suppose there is something called fog deodorant. I'll give you an example. Now, fog is, suppose, is selling only in metro cities. Suppose. Why? Because in metro cities, people are able to afford rupees 500 for a deodorant. For example. Now, fog wants to enter the suburban areas, suburb market, or rather, other areas. Fog wants to enter other areas as well. Now, you all know what fog will do. Sir, you tell us what fog will do. Fog will reduce its price to rupees, let's say 200, to enter this market. So again, price discrimination is possible in such situation. In such a situation. Understood, not understood. So these are the some reasons why price discrimination is done. Got it, everybody? Now, friends, there was this professor. The name of the professor is Professor Pigo. Professor Pigo. Professor Pigo. He classified 3 degrees of price discrimination. How many degrees? 3 degrees of price discrimination. Professor Pigo came up with 3 degrees of price discrimination. Let me explain you each degree or each concept of price discrimination. Understood? Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Okay, I'll give you an example. Number 1, first degree price discrimination. First degree price discrimination. Here, monopolist charges on the basis of ability to pay. Sir, we did not understand this. On the basis of ability to pay? Yes, sir, on the basis of ability to pay. Sir, could you elaborate a little bit? Yes, I'll elaborate it. See, monopolist here is charging on the basis of ability to pay. Monopolist here is charging on the basis of ability to pay. Okay, monopolist here is charging on the basis of ability to pay. Now, what is the logic going on here? Sir, could you elaborate the logic going on here? Sure, I will explain the logic going on here. Suppose there is only one doctor in your area. Suppose there is only one doctor in your area. Suppose there is only one doctor in your area. Now what happens is, there is a rich patient. Patient has a lot of money. So doctor charges his, let's say, regular fees of, let's say, rupees 1500 per patient. Suppose. But then there is one patient who is poor, who cannot afford this much price sensitivity. So maybe the doctor charges from him 1/3 amount, let's say rupees 500 only. This is called first degree price discrimination, where you are charged on the basis of what you are able to pay. Got it, everybody? That is first degree price discrimination. That is first degree price discrimination. Second, now we discuss second degree price discrimination. Second degree price discrimination takes place very often. I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a shopkeeper in your area. Okay. There is a shopkeeper in your area from where you buy your regular grocery items. You know, wheat, rice, dal, pulses, whatever you need. Okay, you buy it from here. So suppose this shopkeeper tells you that only if on per month basis, if you buy at least items worth rupees 10,000, at least items worth rupees 10,000, then he or she is going to give you a discount of 10%. They will charge you 10% less. And if you buy items above 20,000 rupees, then maybe you will get a discount of 25%. Friends, this phenomenon or this concept is called second degree price discrimination, where you are having to pay less when you buy more. So that is second degree price discrimination. When you pay less, when you buy more. That is second degree price discrimination. And finally, we come to third degree. All this is given by Professor Pigo, mind you. Don't forget the name. Institute may ask you in exam. So finally, we enter the third degree price discrimination. Okay. Third degree price discrimination. What happens here, sir? Sir, what happens in third degree price discrimination? It is interesting. Here in third degree price discrimination, suppose this is a market. The entire market is, divided into sub-market. Suppose this is sub-market A. This is sub-market B. This is sub-market C. Meaning, the railway example I gave you now. Sub-market A is maybe people who are young plus fit. Sub-market could be people who are young plus, let's say, some handicapped. And sub-market C is, let's say, when they are senior citizens or very senior citizens, around 80 years of age. Now, railways may set fare for them as rupees 1,000, for them as, let's say, rupees 700, for them as, let's say, rupees 700. This is called third degree price discrimination, where a consumer segment is classified into different sub-markets and then prices are charged accordingly. Understood? Not understood, everybody? Come on, everyone. Come on, everybody. Last one is third degree price discrimination. Third degree is when entire market is classified into, let's say, sub-markets. like young people plus fit people, young plus handicapped people, senior citizens. Some marketing is going on. Understood, everybody? This is called third degree price discrimination. So there are 3 degrees of price discrimination. I have tried to explain each of the 3. Is it crystal clear, everyone? Please confirm the same. Very good. Very good. Very good. First degree on the basis of ability to pay. Second degree, if you buy more, you pay less. And third degree is when sub-market classification is done. I hope it's crystal clear, everyone. It is the choice of monopolist that sub-market B and C is same. It can be different. It can be 600. Anything can take place. Got it, everyone? What I'm trying to say is that sub-market division is done. Only remember this much. Got it? Very, very good. Okay. Now, some effects of monopoly. Economic effects, we could say. Few you need to remember. You read through everything. I'll tell you some economic effects. See, monopolists have huge money, huge financial power. So they may influence the politics of the country. They may interfere with the politics. Example, East India Company. East India Company came into India as business people, as traders. And eventually what happened? They took entirely the control of our country. They colonized our country, as we would say. This is what I'm trying to say. May influence politics. Sir, what is the second effect? Second effect is that little incentive to do better, little incentive to innovate. You know why? Because you see in our country, so long it has taken for railways to get better. You know why? Because there is no competition. So see, innovation or bringing in new technology I will do when I fear competition. Now a monopolist firm is fearing no competition. So whatever they will sell, it will sell. So there is little, incentive or intention to do better. Third, monopolist may exploit suppliers. Because suppliers know that monopolist only buy their products. So they may exploit the suppliers. Like for example, Lays may exploit the farmers. Because farmers know that Lays buys in large quantity. So farmers may have to sell at a very low price to Lays. Next, consumers' freedom of choice is lost. Sir, how come? Arey Baba, if there is monopoly, then there is only one business. There are not multiple businesses. So consumers cannot choose among multiple because there is no multiple only. Because there is no multiple only. And that, my dear friends, is the loss of freedom of choice. That, my dear friends, is the loss of freedom of choice. I hope it's crystal clear to everyone. I hope it is crystal clear to everyone. Confirm, everybody, is it crystal clear or not? Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. Very, very good. Friends, if it is crystal clear, then we talk about monopolistic competition. If it is crystal clear, because now monopoly is over. Actually, it is over. Remember, a monopolist will earn supernormal profits only in the long run. Supernormal profits in the long run. Write down in the chat. Monopolist will make supernormal profits in the long run. Everybody write it down in the chat. Monopolist will make supernormal profit in the long run. Monopolist will make supernormal profits in the long run. Yes, freedom of choice means see. As a consumer, I can buy from multiple sellers. But due to monopoly, there are no multiple sellers. So I have to buy from one person only. Yes, supernormal profits in long run. Very important point. Very, very important point. All the important points I'm making you right. Understood or not, everyone? Come on. Yes, very good. Supernormal profits in the long run. Very, very good. Supernormal profits in the long run. Very, very good. Everybody has to write. A lot of you have not written yet. I'm waiting. Yes, Om, Vedehi, Asha, correct. Swati, Meher, Mrinalika, Ritu, correct. Great. So now we move to monopolistic competition. Now the first thing you will, that will strike you is, sir, the name itself. Monopolistic competition. Sir, what about the name? Why monopolistic competition? Like, what is the secret here? See, it is called monopolistic competition because you see there are two things prevailing here. Because you see there are two things prevailing here. Number one, there is monopoly plus there is competition. That is why the name monopolistic competition. Sir, but how is it possible? Now we are talking about monopolistic competition. Are we ready, everybody? Right. Yes. So there is monopoly plus there is competition. So we come to monopolistic competition. Now let me elaborate it for you. Let me explain it to you. Okay. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'll tell me what is common in this brand names that I'm mentioning right now. What is common among them? A very easy question, obviously. Come on. What is common among all of them? Yes. Sir, all of them are associated with footwear, at least footwear. They can be associated with multiple products, but footwear is the common link. Correct? Footwear is the common link. Now, friends, this is what I'm trying to say. Suppose, just for example, suppose Mrs. A wears Puma, V wears Nike, B. C and their friends prefer Adidas, D and their friends prefer Bata. Now what is happening here? You see, A and his family or Mrs. A and her family, everyone will buy Puma only because there is brand loyalty. Now, B and their family and friends prefer Nike, C and their family and friends prefer Adidas, D and their families and friends prefer Bata. So see, each one of them enjoys some loyalty, customer loyalty or brand loyalty, whatever you want to call it. Each customer has some loyalty. So there is monopoly in the form of brand loyalty. कि अगर मैं Puma यूज कर रहा हूं तो मैं Puma ही यूज करूंगा. Right? So there is kind of brand monopoly. कि once the person has stuck to a brand, they continue to stick to that brand only. So there is monopoly of brand. But Puma has a loyal customer base, has a brand monopoly. But Puma has to compete with Nike, which has similar brand monopoly, which has similar loyal customer base. So there is monopoly of the brand, but competition with other brands having similar monopoly. And therefore it is called monopolistic competition. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everybody. ब्रांड का मोनोपोली है क्योंकि जो एक ब्रांड को प्रेफर कर रहा है वो खाली वही ब्रांड खरीद रहा है, पर हर ब्रांड को compete करना पड़ रहा है दूसरे ब्रांड्स के साथ जिनके पास भी सिमिलर मोनोपोली पावर है. इसीलिए मोनोपोलिस्टिक कंपटीशन नाम रखा गया. उम्मीद है बात समझ में आई होगी. Yes or no? So, the first question that should come into your mind is, why is monopolistic competition called so? ऐसा नाम क्यों? Why is monopolistic competition called so? So as I have answered you, each brand has customer loyalty and hence brand monopoly. Monopoly. But has to compete with other brands having similar monopoly power. Having similar monopoly power. That is why the name is monopolistic competition. Hopefully it's crystal clear now. Yes. Very good, Dhruv. Very good, Rishikesh. Okay, great. Great. So I hope you all have understood this much. Now we will start talking about features, if this much is clear to you all. Okay. Sir, please talk about features then. Okay. So number one feature that they have is, there are a large number of sellers, not very large, not infinitely large, but considerably large. Considerably large, not infinite like perfect competition. Considerably large. Yes. Each one of them try to differentiate their product. Yes. Product differentiation. So here, products are close substitutes because shoe is a shoe after all. So they are close substitutes, but not perfect substitutes. Sir, why not perfect substitutes? Because the conditions around the sale of the product is different, na? Shoe size, color, material, design, so many other things, brand name, so many other things are different. So that's why I'm telling, each one of them is trying to show their product better. Each is trying to show their product better than their competition. And so they are incurring selling costs. Selling cost means huge advertisement costs they are incurring. Selling cost means promotional costs, advertisement costs. Puma has signed Virat Kohli, 1-8 brand. It is associated with Puma only. Virat Kohli's. Yes or no? Similarly, I think Nike is associated with Neymar. I may be wrong. Footballer Neymar. And Cristiano Ronaldo even. Nike is associated with. I may be wrong. But from what my memory tells me, I am correct. But whatever it is, they're incurring huge advertisement costs, is what I'm trying to tell you. Hopefully you understand that. Each one is trying to differentiate their brand. Then this, initially, this Nike had Air Jordans, right? Very good. Very good. Here also, in this market also, just like perfect competition, there are no legal barriers as such. So you can enter the market and you can exit the market whenever you feel. You means the seller. The seller. Whenever they wish, they can enter this market, get into business. Whenever they wish, they can get out of business. Nobody cares. No problem. Understood, everyone? So there is freedom of entry and exit. And eventually, in number 4, there is non-price competition. Sir, what is non-price competition? Means not only they fight by reducing price. Yes, Reducing price is one of the methods to fight with competition, but there are other competition means, like I told, they compete by advertising, they compete by promoting their product through different stars and so many other instruments they use. So that is non-price competition. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everybody. Come on, is it crystal clear, everybody? Got it, sir? Some control they are having over their price. But only by reducing price, if you compete, it is bad for the whole industry. क्योंकि after all shoes का price गिर जाएगा market में, तो सभी का नुकसान है. Yes, sir, we understood this. Now, you know what interesting thing here is? Yes, sir, you tell us. Here also, each firm can make independent decisions. Here, in short run, in short run, again the same thing. They can make supernormal profits. They can make normal profits. They can incur losses. But in the long run, in monopolistic competition, only normal profits will be made. In the long run, only normal profits will be made. In the long run, only normal profits will be made. Everybody, in the long run, only normal profits will be made. The most important sentence. In the long run, only normal profits will be made. So a monopolistic competition will make only normal profits in the long run. Write it down in the chat, everybody. Write it down in the chat, everybody. Only once you write it down in the chat will I move forward. They have the same demand curve, similar demand curve like monopoly. Just that it is slightly flatter. और कोई difference नहीं है. Same demand curve. Downward sloping, average revenue curve, same marginal revenue curve. It's slightly flatter than monopoly. Bus. That is the difference. Slightly flatter. Bus. But the main thing is that a monopolist earns supernormal profit in the long run, while they will make normal profits in the long run. A very, 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 very big difference. A very big difference. Yes. In long run, only normal profits. Monopolistic competition. Remember, it is monopolistic competition. Institute may ask you question. You may get confused. So remember what we have studied. In long run, if we talk about, so perfect competition as well as monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition. Both in the long run are making, yes sir, correct. Both in the long run are making normal profits only. Yes, you are correct, everybody. But in the case of monopoly, in the long run, they are making supernormal profits. That is the key point you need to remember, everyone. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everybody. Come on, everyone. Come on, everybody. There is lesser elasticity in monopoly, higher elasticity here. So, demand curve, remember, demand curve under monopoly is inelastic in nature, though they look the same. Demand curve under monopolistic competition is slightly elastic. Slightly elastic if they ask the difference. Key difference. Come on, everyone. Is this clear? Is this crystal clear so far? Come on, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. So now we talk about oligopoly. Friends, oligopoly is a market where there are few rival firms, as stated by Professor Stigler. Professor Stigler. Professor Stigler tells us that in oligopoly, there are very few rival firms. There are very few rival firms, as indicated by Professor Stigler. Got it, everybody? Sir, please talk a bit more about oligopoly and give us some example. Okay? All right, I'll give you some example. Example, aircraft manufacturers. You know, you have heard of these two aircraft manufacturers. Have you heard of it? Let me know if you have. Number one is Boeing Airlines, who manufacture aeroplanes. Boeing Airlines, and this other one is Airbus. Airbus. Only these two are the companies who manufacture aircrafts. Do you know this? This is oligopoly, where there are only few firms, not necessarily two, three, four. So each has a major market share. Sir, can you give some other example? Yes. Soft drink market. Soft drink market, most of the products that you consume are of these two brands only, or these two companies only. One is Coca-Cola, INC, and the other one is PepsiCo. Yes or no, everyone? Each one, Mountain Dew, 7-Up, come under these two only. That is a kind of, oligopoly. In fact, today, telecommunications also, we see in internet technology, if you talk about, there is Geo, there is Vodafone to some extent, not large extent. Mainly it is Airtel now. Yes or no? So again, all these are, and then there is this local, cable internet connection that you get. That is oligopoly market. Very few firms are remaining. Very few firms are remaining. Very few firms are remaining. Understood, not understood, everybody? Got it, sir. All this is oligopoly, where there are only few rival firms, where there are only few rival firms. And we will talk about features. But first of all, did you get an idea, brief idea on what oligopoly is? Did you get a brief idea on what oligopoly is? Come on. Brief idea all must have got. Great. So friends, now let's talk about types of oligopoly. Types of oligopoly. Friends, number one is pure oligopoly. Number one is pure oligopoly. Pure oligopoly, or we could also tell it to be perfect oligopoly. Perfect oligopoly. Pure oligopoly or perfect oligopoly. Sir, what is pure oligopoly or perfect oligopoly? Could you elaborate it for us? Yes, I will definitely do that. Pure oligopoly or perfect oligopoly? I will definitely elaborate it for you. It is a market wherein, homogeneous products. Homogeneous products means products exactly the same are being sold. Sir, can you give an example? Yes. All of you have heard of Jindal Steel. All of you have heard of Tata Iron and Steel Company, Steel Authority of India. Arey Baba, the steel. Steel is a homogeneous product. Now, how is steel different?
Recording in progress.
Got it. Very, very good. Very good. Then there is something called open oligopoly, closed oligopoly. So, friends, suppose there is a market where there is no restriction to entry. So anyone can enter this market. Such a market is open oligopoly. But if there are entry barriers, like for example, internet, if you think that you can start internet technology, it cannot happen. You have to take permission from the government. So when entry barriers exist, it is called closed oligopoly. Got it, everyone? When entry barriers exist, it is called closed oligopoly. Got it, everyone? Yes. Next. Collusive and competitive oligopoly. I'll give you an example. Suppose, my dear friends, there are few firms who join hands and come together instead of competing. That is called collusive oligopoly. But if the few firms choose to compete, that is competitive oligopoly. Sir, can you give us an example so that we understand this? Sir, can you give us an example? Obviously, I will give you an example. How many of you have heard of OPEC? How many of you can tell me the full form of OPEC or OPEC plus? Anyone? OPEC or OPEC plus? Any of you have heard or can tell me the full form? Any of you have heard of OPEC or OPEC plus? Come on. Yes, sir. OPEC full form is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Now it has members in the form of countries like all the oil producing countries, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and so many others are there. Now, what am I trying to tell you? Now, all these Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia could compete with each other, then it would be competitive oligopoly. But what did they do? They did not compete. They came together and joined hands to decide the oil prices, to decide the oil prices. To decide what? To decide the oil prices. Friends, such an approach is called collusive oligopoly. When the firms instead of competing join hands and decide the market. Yes, very good. Venezuela, many other countries are there. Got it, everyone? So you must have got the flavor of what it is. Very good, sir. Okay. Then there is partial or full oligopoly. Sir, sir, what is partial oligopoly? Sir, what is partial oligopoly? Friends, partial oligopoly is the one where there are few dominating firms. For example, Jio is dominating the market. Let's say, for example, this 50% share. The rest is shared between Airtel plus others. So if there is industry leader, market where there is industry leader, oligopoly market, then it is called partial oligopoly. But if there is no leader, but there are many firms with small share, friends, that is called full oligopoly, where there is no industrial leader, no industry leader. Yes. Now, friends, we discuss syndicated and organized oligopoly. Syndicated and organized oligopoly, the last one, the last type. Syndicated, organized oligopoly. It is all on the basis of purpose. See what happens is, suppose there are firms. There is firm A, firm B, firm C, firm D. Now what they do, they don't sell it to the consumers on their own. All of them sell their product to a syndicate. Now the syndicate brands the product and sells it to the ultimate consumer. An arrangement like this is called a syndicated oligopoly, where firms don't directly reach out to the consumers. They reach out to the consumer through a syndicate. Their products are addressed to the syndicate, and it is the syndicate which ensures that the product reaches the consumers. Do you understand this? Yes or no, everybody? Do you understand this? Yes or no, everybody? Very, very good. Very, very good. This is called a syndicated oligopoly. Very good, everyone. Friends, this is called a syndicated oligopoly. Syndicate or syndicated oligopoly. So, but now, what is organized oligopoly? Now, suppose all these firms, firm A, firm B, firm C, they come together. A, B, and C come together. And come together for what, sir? They come together for what, sir? Like, what is the purpose of them coming together here? The purpose is here to decide the prices, for fixing the prices, fixing the quotas, quantity restriction basically, that what is the maximum quantity they will sell, etc. etc. When they take this decision together, that is called organized oligopoly. Organized oligopoly. Organized oligopoly. Organized oligopoly. Got it, everybody? Yes or no, everyone? It is much like collusive oligopoly only. It is almost the same only. Friends, is this crystal clear? Can I ask you some MCQs? Okay. So let's take a 5 marks test. Then I will give you a 5 to 10 minutes break. Okay. But first 5 marks test. Are you all ready? Syndicated is when the firms sell the product to a syndicate. Syndicate sells it to consumers. And in organized, the firms together decide the prices, quantity, etc. Now 5 marks test. Question 1. In oligopoly, forget about oligopoly. In monopolistic competition, firms in the long run. Firms in the long run make A. Supernormal profits, B. Normal profits, C. Losses, D. All of these. I'm talking about long run, okay? Very good. You are told normal profits, correct answer. Next question. Oligopoly, where homogeneous products are sold, is called what? Okay, that is your option. Okay. A. Syndicated, B. Collusive, C. Pure, D. None of these. Hopefully it's clear, everybody. Okay, let's go. It's pure oligopoly. Where homogeneous products are sold, it is called pure oligopoly. Pure oligopoly. Correct? Three. In monopoly, demand curve is A. Inelastic, B. Elastic, C. Both, D. None. Come on, everyone. In monopoly, very good, Shreyas. Correct answer. Inelastic. Inelastic. Very good. I have discussed all this. Huh? In the class, I am discussing all this. Next question 4. Oligopoly, where firms come together and do not compete is called A. Competitive oligopoly, B. Perfect oligopoly, competitive हो गया, perfect हो गया, C. Collusive, D. Non-collusive. Come on, everyone. Correct answer. Correct answer is collusive oligopoly. Correct answer is collusive oligopoly. Last question. Then I will want to know your marks, each one of you. 5 marks test I am taking. So let's see. I'll come to know your marks. I'll ask you all. Oligopoly market has a large number of firms, B, small number of firms, C, one firm, D, none of above. What say everyone? Very good. Very good. Oligopoly market has small number of firms. That's correct. Not large number of firms. Oligopoly market has small number of firms. That's correct. Correct answer. Very good. Friends, how many of you scored 5 out of 5? Come on, let me know. Vidushi scored full. Very good, Vidushi. Om, very good. Those who are listening consistently and attending consistently will definitely score full. Very good, Rohit. Very good, Ajira. Ankit, good. Shreyas, good work. Vidisha, good. Sneha Moy, good. Vansh, very good. Mahek, great. So now, friends, I am taking doubts. I am here only. I am here only. But those who needed 5 to 10 minutes break can go. I will start sharp at again 3:12 sharp. Till then, I am here only. Please ask your doubts. Yes, I am all here for doubts. Yes. Yes, oligopoly has few firms, correct. It can have 2 firms, 3 firms. And most of them will have significant market share, correct. Yes. Yes. Partial oligopoly is when there is a single leader, industry leader, and the others are small firms. Full oligopoly is when there is no one leader. Everybody has a significant share. Okay. Everybody is almost equal. Got it? Sir Swathi is asking to secure equity through pricing under objective of price discrimination in monopoly market. Okay, so Swathi is telling that sir in the institute material, I'll show it to you here. The question is from institute material. that in objective of price discrimination, it is written to secure equity through pricing. Sir, what is the meaning, sir? See, there is one market where there are rich consumers. There is one market, there are poor consumers. Suppose the product price is rupees 100. Now, if you ask rich to pay rupees 100, it is nothing for them. But for poor, rupees 100 is a big sum. Equity means that instead of doing this, what monopolist will do is that in the rich market, they may charge 500 and in the poor market, they will charge only rupees 20. This is equity. Treating people equally. Now, don't tell me that charging 100 from both is equality. No, no, that is not equality. Arey Baba, 100 rupees impact on rich is different and 100 rupees impact on poor is different. So, how can you tell this? Okay. Second degree price discrimination means you buy large quantity, you will have to pay less. If you buy small quantity, you have to pay more. Suppose you buy one packet of chips, you will have to pay 10 rupees. But if you buy 10 packets, you will have to pay rupees 90. That is per piece will be rupees 9. That advantage when you get, when you buy more, that is second degree price discrimination. Right. Very good. Another question is, sir, non-price competition means that the firms will compete not just by but also other methods like advertising. Yes, Bidisha. Non-price competition means that competition not just by reducing prices, but by other methods like advertising, trying to show your product better, trying to show portray better brand image, all this stuff. Yes, Rohit, skip that. Just remember that a monopolist in the short run can make losses. Great. To dispose of surplus stock means suppose I have 100 units. Now I am left over with 10 units. So I give extra discount on those 10 units to sell them off. Have you not seen in Big Bazaar and so many other shopping malls when they have some units left, they give extra discount on those items just to sell them off. Okay, great. 2 minutes more and then we start our discussion, or rather we continue our discussion. Next head of discussion is features of oligopoly. Okay, let's go. So friends, now we are discussing features of oligopoly market. So the feature number one that we have, and it is very important because it is unique to oligopoly market, that feature is called strategic interdependence. What does it mean? What does it mean? Strategic interdependence. If you have institute material in front of you, you can just write there. Strategic interdependence means deciding strategies according to rivals. According to rivals. Sir, we did not understand this. Can you please explain or elaborate? Yes. I'll give you an example. Suppose, friends, Pepsi launches, Pepsi, it is long back. Pepsi launched 1 liter cold drink bottle. Yes or no? What did Coca-Cola do? Coca-Cola launched 1 liter cold drink bottle. Now suppose Coca-Cola came up with cold drink cans, that you get of rupees 20 around. What did Pepsi do? Pepsi brought the concept of cans again, cans. Now, Pepsi, looking that people are becoming health conscious these days, brought into market Diet Pepsi. What did Coke do? What did Coke do? Coke brought in Diet Coke. Friends, this is what I'm trying to say. Strategic interdependence means behaving as per your competition. Strategic interdependence means behaving as per your competition. Got it, everyone? That is strategic interdependence. Yes, very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. That is strategic interdependence. Everyone, that is strategic interdependence. Number two, strategic interdependence. Number two, huge selling costs, huge advertisement expenditure here, or selling costs, huge advertisement expenditure, very huge. Cricket World Cup is just around the corner, yes or no? It's starting around 5th of October. You see, so many advertisements of Coca-Cola and Pepsi you will see. That is huge advertisement expenditure is incurred during this time period. Yes, sir, crystal clear. So huge advertisement expenditure, also called selling costs. Very, very important. Very aggressively done. Huge amounts are, you know, very aggressively expenditure is done here in these markets. Got it, everyone? So what is the third point then? What is the third point? Another third point is interesting. Friends, the third point is interesting. Here you see what we call as group behavior. What we call as group behavior. Here you will see what is called as group behavior. Sir, what does group behavior means? Group behavior means, all act together. All the firms act together. Meaning what? As I give you an example, suppose Pepsi launches something. Pepsi launches a product. You will see Coca-Cola launching a product too. Huge aggressive selling is done. There is one story of Pepsi and Coke. Would you want to hear it, friends? It is not related to syllabus, but related to Pepsi and Coke oligopoly. How oligopoly works. If you wanted to know. Okay. So friends, it is the year around 1990s, late 90s. Pepsi came up with a concept of Crystal Pepsi. You people would have not heard of it. What is Crystal Pepsi? Crystal Pepsi was a transparent water-like Pepsi. Meaning it looked like water. It was transparent like water, but it tasted like Pepsi. Interesting, isn't it? It looked like water, but it tasted like Pepsi. So it became very famous. As a result, sales of Coca-Cola went down. Sales of Coca-Cola went down because Crystal Pepsi became very famous. You know what Coca-Cola did? Coca-Cola launched a similar Crystal Coke brand. And you know what Coca-Cola told its manufacturers? Yes, to keep poor taste of this Crystal Coke. Poor taste. Sir, why will Coca-Cola keep its product bad? Now I will tell you. Now friends, what happened was, in markets, in shopping malls, always Crystal Coke and Crystal Pepsi were kept together. Both had same design. So oftentimes people would pick up Crystal Coca-Cola and it would taste really bad. So in the minds people, this got imprinted that this Crystal concept is very bad. As a result, Crystal Pepsi sales went down. This is how Coca-Cola killed Pepsi, Crystal Pepsi, and therefore Pepsi had to lift it off the deck. It could not sell it anymore. This was the strategy pursued by Coke. Understood? So see how aggressive advertisement and promotional strategies work here. Very good. Very good. So that is it. That is it. Now, friends, let's come back to our topic. Let's come back to our topic. Under oligopoly market, there is one interesting concept. There is one interesting concept that if there is a dominant firm like Geo, example Geo, then the dominant firm will set prices in the market. You see, this is why Airtel follows those strategies which Geo is following. Friends, this is called price leadership. Price leadership, where a firm, a dominant firm, decides the price and the others have to follow it in the oligopoly market. This is called price leadership. What is it called? It's called price leadership. And leader assesses the market conditions. Understood, everyone? Who assesses the market condition? This dominant firm will assess the market condition and decide the prices. But this only happens in those oligopolies where there is a single dominant firm. Where there is a single dominant firm, only there it can be practiced, not elsewhere, obviously. Now, I will tell you one person's name. Name is Paul Sweezy. Remember this, very important. Paul Sweezy explained the graph of oligopoly. Paul Sweezy told that graph of oligopoly actually cannot be made. It can be made, but the shape is called kinked demand curve. Kinked demand curve. It is also called Sweezy model. Kinked demand curve. Basically, Paul Sweezy was an American economist. Who was Paul Sweezy? American economist. I will show you the graph of oligopoly, don't worry. Generally, the graph is indeterminate, but Paul Sweezy came with a concept. I will tell you what it is. So let me show it to you. This is price, suppose. This is output, let's say. Okay. Suppose price is P1. Suppose quantity is Q1. Suppose I am talking about a single firm. Now what this firm does is, this firm increases the price slightly. एकदम थोड़ा सा price बढ़ाता है. But you know what happens? Other firms will not increase their price. So the demand for products of this firm falls sharply. एकदम जोर से गिरता है. So Q2 shifts leftwards. But now, when this firm reduces the price from P1 to P3, other firms will also reduce the price. So the rise in demand is very slight. जो डिमांड बढ़ता है वो बहुत थोड़ा बढ़ता है, क्योंकि जब आप प्राइस बढ़ा रहे थे, आप मतलब जब एक फर्म प्राइस बढ़ा रहा था तो बाकी फर्म्स भी अपना प्राइस नहीं बढ़ाए, तो आपका डिमांड जोर से नीचे गिरा. पर जब आप अपना प्राइस घटा रहे हैं तो सारे फर्म्स ओलिगोपॉली के अंदर अपना प्राइस घटा दिए प्रोडक्ट को बेचने के लिए, इसलिए आपके प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड थोड़ा सा ही बढ़ा. दिस इज अ शेप. This is how this is called a kink. This shape is called a kink, and this is how the oligopoly demand curve or the curve looks like. Basically, you can call it a demand curve, no problem. This is what it looks like. So if somebody asks who gave this name, Paul Sweezy, American economist. Got it, everyone? I will explain this once more. I will explain this once more in Hindi. I will speak now, है ना? Okay. देखिए, ये एक फर्म है जिसका मैं आपको डिमांड कर्व दिखा रहा हूं ओलिगोपॉली के अंदर. ये फर्म एक ओलिगोपॉली के अंदर का फर्म है. ये फर्म एक ओलिगोपॉली मार्केट के अंदर का फर्म है. ये फर्म एक ओलिगोपॉली मार्केट के अंदर का फर्म है. ओके. नाउ मान लीजिए मार्केट में प्राइस P1 चल रहा है, क्वांटिटी Q1 चल रहा है, क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. अब इस फर्म ने प्राइस थोड़ा सा बढ़ाया. जब इसने प्राइस बढ़ाया, बाकी फर्म्स ने प्राइस नहीं बढ़ाया. बाकी फर्म्स ने प्राइस नहीं बढ़ाया, तो इस फर्म के प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड बहुत जोर से गिरा, क्योंकि अब सब दूसरे फर्म से खरीदने लगेंगे. सो शार्प फॉल इन डिमांड. राइट सर. अब ये फर्म सोचा कि मैं प्राइस घटा देता हूं, इन्होंने प्राइस घटाया, बट जब प्राइस घटाया तो सारे फर्म्स ने प्राइस घटा दिया कि कोई खुद का नुकसान नहीं चाहता। तो इस फर्म का ज्यादा डिमांड बढ़ा नहीं, थोड़ा सा डिमांड बढ़ा, इस फर्म के प्रोडक्ट्स का डिमांड बढ़ा भी तो थोड़ा सा बढ़ा। इसीलिए देखिए कर्व कैसा बन रहा है, कर्व कैसा बन रहा है, ऐसे फिर ऐसे। दिस स्ट्रेटेजी, दिस डिमांड कर्व इज कॉल्ड किंक्ड डिमांड कर्व। नाउ आई होप इट इज क्लियर एवरीबडी। Now I hope it is crystal clear, everyone. Come on. Yes, sir, we understood this. Yes, sir, we understood this. Very good. Now, friends, this was about oligopoly market. Now, there are other market forms. Friends, number one is a market called duopoly. Duopoly is nothing but a oligopoly market only, where there are two firms. Like I told now, this aircraft manufacturer, Boeing and Airbus, oligopoly with two firms. Write it down. What is duopoly? Oligopoly market with two firms. Oligopoly market with two firms. Oligopoly market with how many firms? Two firms. That is called a duopoly. That is called a duopoly. Example, Airbus and Boeing. For aircraft manufacture. That is a duopoly. Oligopoly with two firms only. Great. Next one, sir. Friends, next one is called a monopsony market. Interesting, very interesting. Monopsony market. Sir, what is a monopsony market, sir? Friends, monopsony market is a market with a single large buyer. Yes, you heard it right. I told buyer, not seller. With a single large buyer. Sir, example. Now, friends, let me give you an example. Suppose Maruti buys engines. Now, the engines that Maruti buys for its cars can be used in Maruti cars only. So, only Maruti can buy those engines. That is a monopsony. Or suppose in our country, defense equipments like fighter aircrafts, who can buy? Only government can buy in our country. That is also monopsony, where there is only one large buyer. I told you. In monopsony market, specialized products are sold. Only because there is only one buyer, na. So according to buyer specification, products are made. Got it? So specialized products. So specialized products are sold. Understood, everyone? Next, number 3. Duopoly done, monopsony done. Oligopsony. Oligopsony. When there are few large buyers. See, whenever you see the word Sony, na, S-O-N-Y in the end, it is from the buyer's perspective that we are going to talk. Got it? Few large buyers. Got it? Another one is interesting. Bilateral monopoly. Very interesting. Bilateral monopoly. monopoly. When there is only single seller, and only single buyer in the market. I'll give you an example. Suppose Rafale aircraft, fighter jets, Rafale. In the whole world, only France makes Rafale aircrafts. And only India is the buyer of Rafale aircrafts. France is the only seller in the world. India is the only buyer in the world. Suppose, for example, friends, such a monopoly is called bilateral monopoly, where there is only one seller and one market buyer in the market. Bilateral monopoly. Is it crystal clear, friends? Is it crystal clear, friends? Everybody, come on, confirm. Oligopoly is a market with few firms. Duopoly is a oligopoly market with two firms only. Correct. Now, friends, some summary notes we will write. Hopefully, all of you are ready. Because this chapter is done, now we will write some summary notes if you all are ready. Okay, let's go. Summary notes. Obviously, we will use another day for this class, another class for this topic where we will solve all the back questions. Obviously, don't think that I have forgotten about back questions. We have a separate class arranged for it, so don't worry about that. Okay. Now look here. If we talk about perfect competition, perfect competition. What does the summary note say? Or what should we write in the summary notes? Large number of buyers and sellers. Write it along with me, huh? Write it along with me. Homogeneous products. Homogeneous means perfect substitutes. Products are perfect substitutes of one another. Selling homogeneous products. They have insignificant market share. So each seller is insignificant here because there are many buyers. There is free entry and exit. There is free entry and exit. Market is price maker. Firm is price taker. Here, price is equals to average revenue equals to marginal revenue. Perfect competition we are discussing. All these are, sir, why are you writing one words only? Infinitely elastic demand curve. You remember the demand curve is like this. This is infinitely elastic. We have done this in demand as well. Infinitely elastic demand curve. Normal profits in the long run. Normal profits is the long run. Here, there is perfect knowledge exists for both buyers and sellers. For both buyers and sellers. There is absence of transportation cost. Absence of transportation costs. Here there is no wastage of resources. I am trying to point out everything which can come for your MCQs. Got it? Friends, write it down, everyone. This is perfect competition. Written, everybody? Write it down, then we move forward. Okay, I'll show up this part. Very good. Yes, very good. Number one done. Next, write monopoly as the head. Monopoly as the head. Write it down. The next point is monopoly as the head. Single seller. No close substitutes. Absence of competition. Strong barriers to entry. Monopolist is price maker because they only decide the prices, na? So that is why I told monopolist is the price maker in such a market. Got it? They practice price discrimination. Supernormal profits in long run. Here, a lot of wastage of resources take place, Low advertising cost. They don't have to spend huge amount on advertising costs because they are only the sellers. Low advertising slash selling costs. Yes, they have to incur, but very low. Three degrees of price discrimination. Discrimination. Three degrees of price discrimination. Can exploit consumers by charging high prices. Possibility of exploitation. Consumers by charging high prices. By charging high prices. Total revenue curve U-shaped. TR curve U-shaped. Total revenue curve U-shaped. Here total revenue curve is upward sloping. TR curve upward sloping. In perfect competition, write down total revenue curve upward sloping. Yeah, positive sloping. Write it down because price remains the same. TR curve positive sloping in perfect competition. U-shaped in monopoly. TR curve U-shaped in monopoly. Write it down. TR curve U-shaped in monopoly. Then we discuss monopolistic competition. Okay. Large number of buyers and sellers selling differentiated products. Imperfect competition. Both monopolistic competition and oligopoly are imperfect competition. Free entry and exit. Here, sellers have some control over price. Sellers have some control over price. Here there is elastic demand curve. Acha, here also, just make a change. In monopoly, I told you to write TR curve U shape. Write down inverted U. There may be misunderstanding. Inverted U, like this. Got it? In monopoly, make this change. TR curve, inverted U. In monopolistic competition also same thing. TR curve, inverted U shape. Here also there is inefficient allocation of resources. Normal profits in the long run. They waste huge expenditure on advertisement. Or on advertisement. Remember, in monopoly also I have told you TR curve is inverted U shape. Okay. In monopolistic competition also I have told you TR curve inverted U shape. I have told you, don't make this mistake, huh? Then there is oligopoly market. ठीक है? Oligopoly market. Few sellers. Strategic interdependence. Dependence. Kinked demand curve. Price leadership of dominant firm. Different types. Pure, perfect, syndicate, organized. Collusive, competitive, open, closed. Many types. Group behavior. Aggressive selling. Selling behavior. Huge selling costs. This is what you have to write. Come on, everyone. Write it down, fatafat. Next. Equilibrium conditions. Equilibrium condition under perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, not under oligopoly. Oligopoly equilibrium cannot be discussed, cannot be arrived at rather. So how many equilibrium conditions are there? Come on, everyone. I hope you all remember that. Come on, answer me this. How many equilibrium conditions are there? Very good. Let's see who answers first. Very good. Two conditions. Swati has answered the question first. Swati has answered the question first. Correct, Swati. So there are two conditions, both under, I mean, all the three. Perfect competition, monopoly, and monopolistic competition. Correct. What are the two conditions? Number one, marginal cost equals to marginal revenue. The condition number one. And condition number two, marginal cost curve intersects marginal revenue from below. It's like this. This is marginal cost. It will cut from below. So here will be your equilibrium point, the red mark. Note it down. Yes, Ankit. Positively rising. You can say this. Positively slope. Correct. 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 Positive slope. What else? Now let me ask you an MCQ question. Two or three questions I will ask you. Oligopoly with only two firms is called what? Option A, triopoly, B, duopoly, C, monopsony, D, bilateral monopoly. Come on, everyone. Very good. So the answer is duopoly. So the answer is duopoly. Next question. What is a market called that has one seller and one buyer? A, duopoly, two, monopoly, bilateral monopoly, D, monopsony. Come on, answer me this question. Market that has one seller and one buyer. Bilateral monopoly is the correct answer. D. Next question. What is the market called which has only one buyer? Option A, monopoly, duopoly, monopsony, oligopoly. Which has only one buyer? Which has only one buyer? Very good. Monopsony. Your answer is correct. Monopsony is the answer. Now answer me this question. Shape of oligopoly was given by Professor Stigler, B. Pigot, C. Paul Sweezy, D. Alfred Marshall. What say everyone? Come on, answer me. What do you think is the correct answer, everyone? Two people have answered till now. Acha, four. Asha, Avni, Vidushi, and Vidisha. Rest. To read between lines of ICAI material. That is the first thing you should do after the class. Then, obviously, in the next class, I will solve back questions. But till then, you also try solving back questions. If you do this too, after attending my class, it is reasonably sure that you will do well in economics. You don't have to worry about this subject. Okay? So friends, chalo, we wind up the day today. Next day we will have a discussion. Goodbye everyone. That's it for the day. Thank you very much. Yes.